What up? This is Chris from Salty Island. It has been a hot minute since we've done anything, mostly because GW hasn't released shit. But we're back, and GW has begun to release shit that we want. And I'm here today with Salty Shy.
What's up?
Salty Shy, I have spent $40 like a normal, reasonable human being on a book. Salty Shy, how much you spend on?
I spent like 400.
Hey, good job.
I bought some terrain. You could never go wrong with buying some terrain. We do have 2 copies of this $40 book.
We did, which is collectively $80 on the book. Hopefully I will be smart and post a picture right here of Crusade Beyond the Veil mission pack.
I could have bought another piece of terrain for that price.
I mean, with that said, real quick, the terrain is super nice. I do really like the terrain.
It matches my Mechanicus stuff.
It does match the Mechanicus stuff. So for anybody out there who's got the Mechanicus stuff already, this goes right along with it, both aesthetically, and I think the levels are
Yeah,
on
they're
that
the
5-inch
same.
height
Yeah,
too, right?
they're 5-inch levels.
Right, which is super nice. It will go great on the table. But with that said, also as part of this, we've got this Beyond the Veil. This is a mission pack, not just. It is not the same as the the narrative campaigns that they've released for like 6th or 7th edition.
The tournament packs.
Yeah,
oh,
it's not the same as the tournament pack either.
Right.
It is a soft cover, spiral bound, kind of tiny book.
It's just like the grand tournament pack.
Yes. That's so. If any of you have seen that before, they're in stores already. That's pretty much what you'll be buying for $40. We're gonna pop this open. We're gonna give you a live salt flow on this one.
I really think it should say Crusade expansion.
It should actually.
That's what I believe.
For those of you who've watched like Winters or something, it is not a narrative thing like in the old books. I've got quite a few of them.
Or even like the Psychic Awakening.
Yeah, the Psychic Awakening is a perfect example. There was a lot of lore in it, like a whole lot of narrative, told stories. There were a lot of characters. There were about 50-50. Apparently, this book is not 50-50. It is.
You get this cool cover thing.
You do get this cool cover thing.
Little rubber band thing.
So we're
Spiral bound.
I'll probably take pictures and post it as we go along on this.
Spiral bound.
It's not as nice as a hardcover. I'm gonna just go on a limb for that one.
Same
You can
page
tell
quality.
it's like, yeah, like the. I mean, I probably won't rip this page, but you should be a little careful.
All right. Well, we start this. We got these 3 pages of fluff. You just rip these out of your book.
Okay, 3 pages of
that
fluff.
That way you can get to the rules faster.
Right. So Winters was complaining because there's not enough fluff. Much as I feel Winters on this one, 3 pages of fluff is about all I'm gonna read. Like that's what we got here. One. Oh yeah. No, yeah. You're not even joking.
3 pages.
No, it's
literally
literally
3 pages.
3 pages. 1 picture of a planet.
One is an index, or one is a table of contents.
One is a table of contents.
And then one is an introduction.
An introduction. 3 pages of fluff. 1 picture of the Warzone Pariah.
Yeah.
And you are literally straight into Beyond the Veil rules for the game. So this is for Crusade.
Yep.
So if you're playing Crusade, if you like Crusade, or you just want more Crusade, or you've never played Crusade before and you want to try it, I actually do recommend it. We had a lot of fun with this.
Going through this, we heard the Beyond the Veil games. This is pretty neat. This is the Crusade, how to play the Crusade. So you don't have to actually reference your book.
No, you're right. I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's actually pretty...
This is basically the step-by-step when you start a game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And it's actually got the missions laid out for the book inside of here, so you don't need to, like, flip back and forth. You're right. So you don't need to, like, go pop open your big-ass codex. This is pretty much a self-contained...
Otherwise, everything, I mean, the different missions, they're from this book. Everything else is the same. Agendas, objective markers, blah, 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 turn, update your crusade. It's basically the same thing from the core rulebook.
All right. There you go. So there you go. For those of you who you don't need to go break open your core rulebook, it's got pretty much everything. It's even got the agendas actually. Oh wait, are these new agendas?
These are new agendas.
Okay, so you will need the old agendas if you want to use those old ones, but they've got new ones also.
Oh yeah, so there's only these 2 pages of agendas.
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay, so 2 pages of agendas. Like a couple of each ones.
Yeah.
Any of them look good?
You get Psychic Beacon. But that sounds like something that was in the rule book.
Psychic Beacon Tally. All right.
Yeah, so you get some stuff here.
Okay, yeah. So a little something for every army. Different agendas you can try to use.
Yeah, we'll have to go through those, see if they're worth taking or not compared to
Right.
what you would normally take.
Yeah, we'll go into that into another video. Let's see what we got. Battle traits. New battle traits. They are specific. They are setting specific. Like the first one is Veterans of the Prior Nexus. When using Prior Nexus Theater of War, this unit is unaffected by any afflictions rules. So, like, the traits are literally referencing things specific to this setting.
Oh, that Crusader one.
What's the Crusader one?
When making advance and charge rolls for this unit, you can re-roll dice results of 1 and 2s.
Ooh,
You can also re-roll morale tests.
that's nice, actually.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good. 5-up Feel No Pain for vehicles.
Nice.
Well, against
5 of
psychics.
Feel No Pain for
Against
psychics,
psychics,
yeah,
yeah.
for psychics. Well,
With psychics in his. Necrons don't even have psychics. I don't
No.
know why. Yeah.
I think the Prior Nexus is a very anti-psyker
Psyker thing, yeah.
kind of thing. So, yeah, it is very thematic to the setting.
Well, I guess this is just the chapter master aura, but usable for any.
Anybody.
Oh, any character, only characters. This cover does not fold very
No,
well.
you can't. Yeah, oh, yes. So as a note about this cover, now that we've got this in hand, you cannot fold this cover back and make it like a nifty one-page thing.
Weird.
You'll probably like bend this book. I mean, you kind of can, but I'm already questioning whether or not that's gonna like wear the book out and make this cover rip. So, all right, we got.
Anyways.
Got relics?
Relics, yeah.
All right, let's see if there's anything good. 5 Feel No Pain relic. I mean, they're all relics that are generic, where any
Yeah.
army can take these relics. Wait. There's a rule in here. At the end of each battle, you can roll 1d6 for each relic. On a 6, the full power of the relic is discovered, and the bearer can use the additional unlocked ability for the relic. Oh, so each of these relics looks like there's
Oh.
dual abilities.
I see, yes.
However, there's an additional clause. If the bearer is a Necron, you add 4 to the roll, which means you basically just need to roll a 2 to get a 6 to get the full power of the relic. So if you're a fucking Necron player, you get the good version of the relic on a 2-up.
There's sure a lot of melee stuff in this.
Like, let's see here. Blackstone Ankh, for example. Each time the model in the bearer's unit would lose a wound, the result of will lose a wound as a result of a mortal wound. On a 6-up, it's not lost. If you have the good version of this, it is a 5-up instead of a 6. So it's like a better version, it looks like, of each of the relics. If you're a Necron player. Or you're really good at rolling 6s. So it's a little janky that Necrons. I guess that's the narrative part. Is
Yeah, they're like Necron.
right. They're all Necron relics. Okay. With that said, yeah. They are all Necron relics. Like they're pretty clearly like hero.
Anyone can use them. They're just based
Right.
off of the
So if you find you find a Necron relic, and you might be able to unlock its full potential. But if you're a Necron, you can probably figure it out.
Battle scars are pretty interesting.
What you got here?
Looking through these are all neat. All these battle scars have a negative and a positive.
Whoa.
Yeah. So let's look at where's the one? Like this frantic one. In your charge phase, if this unit is within 12 of any enemy units, you must declare a charge with it. But each time a melee attack is made by a model in this unit on an unmodified roll of 6, it can make an additional attack.
Oh.
So you get a negative and a positive.
Right. So yes, scars aren't necessarily
Yeah.
like all bad. Like, but it is something that's like left a mark on you.
The Psyker one is pretty interesting. The suffocating madness.
Let's see what you got here. Each time a psychic test is taken, roll 1 additional d6 and discard the highest result. Each time a melee attack is made by a model in this unit, you can re-roll the wound roll. Interesting.
So it's pretty interesting. They all have positives and negatives.
Right. Like, yeah, you'll probably get that test off, but you're probably also gonna like blow your brains out at some point. So that's pretty interesting.
It's pretty interesting. I like this.
Okay.
I like that this gives you like good battle scars, or at least a
Right.
negative plus a positive. So
Which seems to kind of be in line with what the rumors of like the Space Marine book, some of the ones that they have in there were like, if you have like I think one of them was like if you have a scar, and then you do something in a subsequent match, like you can remove the scar and gain extra XP or something like that. Like
Right.
there's things that combo on that, which is pretty cool and very narrative, and I think that is a good thing. All right, that's a plus. See what we got here. There's this thing called investigating the Pariah Nexus. What is this?
so you get investigation points. So they're a new thing. Every time you win a battle, well, every time you play, nope, every time your Crusade force wins a battle,
Okay.
You gain 1 investigation point.
Okay, you gotta win. All right.
There's probably other missions that give you investigation points and stuff too.
Yeah, it looks like like the battle zone will show how much you get and stuff
Oh,
like
that's
that.
interesting. So you can spend spend investigation points on these new things that give you different benefits. So like supply cache, you can increase your supply limit or fresh recruits requisition without spending any requisition points.
Ooh.
There's just also gain 1 requisition point for 4 investigation points.
Okay. What's the big one?
The 7.1 is the Relics of the Nexus.
Get a relic? Get a Nexus relic.
1 Crusade relic from the Relics of the Nexus.
Okay, nice. But 7.
Right.
Okay. So you gotta at least play in this war zone, and you can then opt for the relics.
I mean,
you can get an extra relic.
I guess if you have 7 investigation points, you can just get the relic.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's interesting. I do like that they. There's some nice stuff. Oh, there's strength through adversity.
On a note about that
Free battle
investigation points, 1 point, you can spend this multiple times. You add 1 to the roll for every investigation point when trying to unlock the full power of a relic of the Nexus. So there you go. If you, it's not just Necron players. So not everyone else is just screwed with those Necron relics. You can study the
It's
artifact.
just easier for the Necrons.
Yeah, it is just easier.
Pretty neat.
Well, that is cool.
It's pretty neat.
All right.
Well, another like currency.
All right. I mean, it's not as okay. For as much as I bitched that Crusade was a bit bookkeepy in the beginning, it's not that bad. It's not terrible.
After that, we've got like the Theater of War, which is basically the rules that are in play for whenever you play a mission in the Pariah Nexus.
Oh, there's a few other things here. Strategic setbacks.
Yeah.
What is this? Okay, so these are optional. I mean, all these rules are obviously optional. And they pretty much blatantly say in the designer notes, just feel free to use, whatever. Whatever you and opponent agree on, just, play some games. But, let's see, disoriented approach. Each player divides their deployment zone as evenly as possible into 3 zones, number them 1 to 3. Then set up a unit, or when setting up the unit, roll a d3 and determine your random deployment zoning yourself. Okay.
Deferred reinforcements is the old reinforcements rule.
Oh, yeah. Cannot come in till
Third battle round.
Or I guess if you're playing like a campaign or something and you want to like,
Yeah.
string together some narrative games and let the winner and the loser have like maybe a setback or something, you kind of throw one of these in there to kind of
Yeah.
add a
We've
little
really
flavor.
gone through a lot of those 3 pages of fluff here, but just reading these rules, it seems that like armies coming into the Pariah Nexus are scattered and like basically strewn about the battlefield.
Yeah.
That's what it seems the theme of it is. You have these afflictions.
Ooh.
These are like the old basically the old Theater of War rules, the old rules for like if you're playing on a demon world or these are basically kind of the same.
Yes.
So like you have Smothering Silence where you subtract 1 from Psychic and deny the Witch tests.
Okay.
Yeah, basically the same as those old rules.
Right.
And then you have the Crusade missions after that.
All right, so you're 20 pages in, and it's pretty much you are through the stuff. Now you're just into missions. According to the index, I think there's 6 of each mission for each of the different sizes of games. Combat Patrol. What did it do? To the really big ass one.
Here's a quick flip through of these missions.
They do give you deployment zones. So same with the other missions, right? Your deployment zones are preset. They give you your mission objectives, mission markers. These are narratives, so each one it looks like has a victory bonus. Like, for example, one of them is 2 units can be marked for greatness if you win. Or, different type of stuff.
These missions don't really seem as asymmetrical as the core book missions. All the deployments are pretty the same.
Right.
You have some pretty neat narrative looking ones here. This shroud looks pretty interesting.
This regroup one looks actually pretty good for the combat patrol.
Oh, you got a triangle deployment.
Oh, old school.
Yeah. Okay, they start to get a little bit better
as it gets bigger. Okay, so they're a little basic at the small size, which makes sense. You really only got so much on the table.
Hey, that's a cool mission.
Ooh, what
flanking maneuver mission?
Flanking maneuver. All right, I'm gonna try and remember to put a picture. What is it?
Page 46.
46. Let's take a look at that. Holy shit. All right, so
that's pretty neat.
I have now hopefully I've stuck a picture so you guys can see what we're talking about here. This deployment zone is nuts. Let's take a quick read. Do not generate a strategic setback for this mission. All right. Oh, okay, so sometimes in the mission rules it'll like kind of give you some like things. Like this one says, do not generate strategic setback. One objective marker in the attacker's deployment zone. Defender then places 1 marker within their deployment zone, more 3 from the edge. Units within range of the objective marker, auto pass morale, progressive objective.
That's a pretty good fight.
Jeez, yeah.
It's a pretty good fight.
Okay.
I think that'd be a fun one.
And there's a victory bonus. Yep. Nice. Okay, yeah. This is actually probably one that we will play on stream at some point. All right.
Yeah, these missions are starting to get pretty good.
Holy shit! This fighting retreat one looks crazy. Also. All right. So as you get into larger games, it looks like they do experiment a lot more with asymmetrical missions, unique deployment setups, and things like that.
That's cool. They got like you got a city fight terrain here. Look, you know all this terrain, this area terrain.
All right. So of course, GW did sell us terrain. I'll post a picture of this one, abandoned city. It specifically tells you to put out maybe some city terrain.
I only got 4. They want me to have 4 more.
Luckily for us, we also have bought like a fuck ton of the old city terrain. So I think we can actually field this table.
I think GW is telling me I need to buy 4 more buildings.
Probably right.
Yeah, and then and then the actual rules to play the game.
Basic rules, right? How to play the game, right? Because
so I don't need the base rulebook much anymore. Well, for the
other than like the what is it called? The objectives or whatever.
And
the personal
agendas.
objectives.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna also think once the codex has come out, chances are those are gonna be way better for any given army. So you're probably gonna just need your codex and this book.
Huh. Yeah, looks like that's pretty much it. It's got the mini rulebook basically back here. It interestingly has some FAQ here on rare rules. Way back here in the back of the book, page 105.
105. All right, let me.
Rare rules. Always fight first and last. Tells you how to resolve that.
Oh, yes. Okay, some clarifications on like the shoot again rule, non-shooting ability. Okay, yeah. So for everyone. I will go ahead and post all of these rare rules up there as rule clarifications. So if anybody, even if you don't have this book, these are probably good for people to see.
And then it's got just glossary of terms in the back. That's it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if the other books came with the basic rules or not, because this is the first of the mini books I think we got.
Yeah.
They probably did. Overall, I don't know. The missions look really good.
Yes. I think the missions are good.
There isn't a lot of content.
No.
As far as rule specific stuff for the Crusade. Like, you've got the relics, a couple battle traits. The investigating thing's kind of neat. The new battle scars are kind of neat. But those are all really just one page. The theater of war thing is kind of neat. You're pretty much just paying $40 for a bunch of new
missions. Right. So the total pages in this book, including the art and all of the stuff, is 112 pages. The actual I guess you could break it down where, let's see, the Crusade missions start on page 20 and it ends on page 71. After page 71 is just reprints of the base rules that you get in your core rule book. So let's kind of not count that. So technically you are only paying for 71 pages of content. Because this last like 30 pages is just rules that you probably already have.
Just a reprint of the base rules.
And it is also, somewhat annoyingly, not a reprint of the Crusade rules, so it does not have the Crusade content.
It does not have the full Crusade content.
Right, which I kind of wish that's what they had reprinted, so I could just use this book as like it's a standalone.
It does have the basic how to play a Crusade. Well, how to start a game of Crusade.
It does, but the ones that I want is like the generic relics or the generic stratagems from like the other one. I guess the final question is did we pay for is this $40 worth of content?
I say the missions are really good. I don't know if the missions are worth it or not. I don't know. It seems this is very basic.
Oh. Well, that's it, yeah.
I think that the Codex releases will make that better.
Well, the Codex is next week.
The Codex is next week.
So we will see how much the Codex additionally builds upon this book.
I think the big things I was looking for is the stuff that's coming in the Codex. Those Crusade, those requisition upgrades and such.
Yes.
I was expecting more of those generic for this, but
I will say that that is a little disappointing. While they do have relics and unique things like that, it's not a lot.
This cover is true that this is the mission pack for Beyond the Veil, because that's all you're really getting in here.
Yeah, it is not lying. It is not a narrative book. So I'm just going to flat out there. I agree with Winters. If you liked the old campaign books that had a lot of fluff, that talked a lot about had special characters, had unique formations, and all of this stuff, this is not for you.
Yeah.
It does not have any of that in here.
I would say, as far as the Crusade, if you've played all the Crusade missions in the main book, then maybe this is worth it. But if not, you can do without this book. The codexes themselves are going to give you new rules for Crusade and probably give you more content than these books.
Yes. I will completely agree with that. We will see next week if that holds up. So we'll probably be making another video next week talking some shit about that one.
We'll spend $100 for that one. We're all going to buy a book.
Actually, you know what? Now that you just mentioned that, I don't see anything in here to let me link this online.
Yeah, I don't believe the Crusade stuff is going to be in the app.
Right.
Which is interesting because, yes.
Well, the one thing that I wanted the app to do was to track the Crusade.
Right.
Which there's nothing in here about linking this book online, so I don't know how that's going to work. Because that is the one thing that I liked about Warcry. The Warcry tracker that is free online does track your campaign and all your other narrative stuff with it, like your relics, your upgrades, and all of that. So that's something to be seen also, how GW goes about that one. GW, and you're probably not listening, but if someone out there does know, GW, you should find a way to link this in to your army builder. All right, that's what we got this week. We'll be back next week to see what we think about the Codex. We'll have Space Marine Codex. I don't think we'll have the Necron
Codex. Well, we'll see if Josh or anybody else wants to pick one up.
If Josh picks up the Necron Codex, we'll talk some trash about that one also. But for now, $40, Beyond the Veil. if you've got one friend who's into it, let that one friend pick it up. Don't be like us. You do not need to have each your own book.
Yeah.
That's going to be our absolute recommendation.
Now that we bought one.
Now that we see what's in it, let your one friend pick it up. Be cool and just share it. It's not something that you need as a collector, and it's definitely not something you need as a narrative person. In fact, I'll probably just post the 3 pages of narrative. So if you guys just really want to read it, stick around to the end of this video. You'll see it on there as well. But cool. Otherwise, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Later.